Video games made into movies is a topic I hold interest in, mainly because most of the movies made from such things are more painful and offensive to the viewer than trying to prove the Holocaust didn't happen. Games are notoriously hard to turn into popcorn cinema, so it's incredibly rare to see one be functionally competent, and even rarer to see one be, God forbid, good. So when news sprung up in the past few years that a new Mortal Kombat movie was coming, I did a big inhale, and then an even bigger sigh. We tried that already, guys. Twice. One was better than the other, but that's like saying one kidney stone wasn't as painful as the one before it. Then we heard it would be hardcore, rated R and stuff. I still wasn't really interested, because applauding an age rating is for the most part superficial and kind of childish, like waving your first condom in the air and whipping like a gibbon. Just because your movie's rated R doesn't mean it's going to be good. The one piece of news I read that actually raised my eyebrows in a satisfactory manner was the casting of Hiroyuki Sanada as Hanzo Asashi / Scorpion, and Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero. Even if the movie sucks, a likely possibility, those two guys are very well cast, and they're going to be cool. Then, the trailer dropped, and my god am I excited. Don't get me wrong, I still don't have high hopes for the film's quality, but it looks surprisingly fun and deliciously corny. We have our probable fish-out-of-water protagonist Cole drawn into the Mortal Kombat tournament because of a mark on his chest. If you know anything about Mortal Kombat lore, you'll know this ain't it. But whatever, normies need someone as lost as they are to follow, I guess. We have a glimpse of Black Melina, and a shot of how Jax loses his arms to Sub-Zero. Admittedly, this is actually kind of interesting. Sub-Zero is a potential villain. Maybe they'll work together to take out Scorpion when he comes around. I don't know. Liu Kang's dragon appears. Not that dragon, you horny jail escapee. Even Kung Lao's in it. The inferior of the two main Shaolin characters is going to be in this. What? Kano's here too, always a personal favourite of mine. He doesn't seem to have the robot eye yet, but if we see how he gets it, yeah, that's fair enough. Of course, the most interesting part is Sanada's Scorpion. The dude is, simply put, a phenomenal actor, and he kicks genuine ass, if you've seen The Last Samurai, or even The Wolverine. The guy is just hardcore, proving that he can actually fight and commit to a good fight scene, but also showing he can act and pull off emotions when it's called for. That kind of balance is rare, and to have someone with that balance as Scorpion is a stroke of genuinely brilliant casting. Taslim as Sub-Zero too is a great choice. If you've seen The Raid, you'll know the guy can fight, but he can act stoic and tough as well. So we have one guy who can fight and act, and another guy who can also fight, and also act, as adversaries. Do I expect good fight scenes between them? Of course I do. Will we get them? I'm not holding my breath. We've seen how Hollywood likes to do fight scenes, i.e. for the most part terribly, so much so Jackie Chan denounced his own Rush Hour movies because the action in them just sucks. For a movie like this, you'd expect the actors to contribute to the most important part of the movie, the fights. So let's just hope everyone's pulling their weight as much as these two guys. Because Mortal Kombat is one of the most iconic video game franchises of all time, and it's one I actually have some attachment to. It was the first game franchise I really got into back when Deadly Alliance came out for the PlayStation 2. I've followed this series for years, so I want anything that comes from it to be good. But the cynical side of me just doesn't have hope for this movie's overall goodness. I ultimately look at it as a fun popcorn flick, and if it fulfills that quota, yeah, fine. It should be good as a movie as well, though, with good characterization and logical writing and stuff. Which is why I think they're jumping the gun a little by introducing so many characters like this just straight away. We have Liu Kang, Sonya, Jax, Kung Lao, Shang Tsung, Kano, Melina, Goro, Reptile, Cabal, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Cole. That's a lot of characters, each with their own personalities and motivations if you've played the games. It's likely most of them won't get a decent amount of development aside from the main ones. But hey, I'm open for a surprise. Simply put, video game movies are rarely good, and Mortal Kombat is a game series with a surprising amount of backstory, lore, and characterization. Scorpion is a tragic assassin, for instance. Sub-Zero was unfairly blamed for Scorpion's plight. Things like that would be cool to see, but unless the film has some incredible pacing, it's likely we'll get this dynamic to some extent. Maybe a few other characters like Sonya and Jax will get developed, and the rest will be cookie-cutter heroes and villains. Which is a shame, because they all have fleshed out backstories. Again, I'm a bit more hopeful than I was before, and if it's fun, great. If it's good, even better. If, God forbid, it's great, I'll gladly admit I was wrong. With the video game movie track record, or just the general recent movie track record, it's hard to be optimistic, though.